This is what I want to get into. This was what I was excited about. Does anybody remember what our question of the week was last week?
I do.
What was it, Elston?
Question of the week last week in GamesRadar.com/forums. What's an old cartoon you'd like to see made into a new game?
Can I get you off that page for a second?
Sure.
Can you just close that iPad real quick?
Okay.
It's quiz time.
Oh.
It's quiz time based off of your responses. You have set up this quiz for everybody.
You being the readers. Listeners.
You being the
listeners.
That's right. You being the readers, listeners, have set up this contest.
I swear.
What cartoons you wanted to see made into games. I've gathered up a dick ton of your suggestions.
There's a lot.
Theme songs. And we are going to guess which theme song this is. I'm going to start you out with an easy one that is brought to you by All the Good Names Were Taken.
Thundercats.
Brett Elston, it is Thundercats.
Such a great intro. It gets me so pumped.
Look at that, goosebumps.
A show that's terrible.
You want to date? Let's date ourselves even further. Lionel.
Yeah.
Anybody here watch The State? We played a couple State clips.
Yeah.
That is the woman on the show is Carrie Kinney from Reno 911. That's her dad.
Wow.
And he did all the voices on The State, like The State, Face coming down, like. That's Lionel.
Wow.
Whoa. I didn't know that.
Even more so, this is kind of known, that song's written by James Lipton.
What?
This song is written by James Lipton.
Seriously?
This song... Yeah. I used to write music before.
I love that opening, too. It's so well animated.
They blew their entire series
The
budget
whole
on the opening.
None of the series looks like that.
No.
I don't even know if I have a buzzer noise, so maybe we're just going to have to say, nope, nobody's wrong.
Like, whatever the new opening is for the new the Cartoon Network reimagining of Thundercats, it will be shittier than that.
It can't compare it.
Because they won't spend that much money on it.
The sword growing, like, just the camera, zooming out every time he said it and the sword grew.
Thunder! Like, just throws the sword around.
Thunder!
It will. The new one will look and feel like a cheap animated series made to make money, which that was too. For it definitely was, but like, there's just something about that opening that was like, well, we should at least try for the opening.
all right. We don't have
so
to.
Pumped.
All right.
This one comes to us from. I'm just writing down Asher, Michael, MCC827, and F is for Fat. Who can tell me what this is?
Our world is in peril.
Captain Planet.
Brett Elston. That was really quick.
You're too fast.
That was really quick.
I had that on the tip of my tongue. Stupid Power of Love. That one's useless, man. But they always had to write episodes where he saved the day. Wheeler, you are foolish.
One of the recurring villains in Captain Planet.
I remember the guy who looked like an albino version of the Thing.
Duke Nukem is that guy you're talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, what?
His
Really?
name was Duke Nukem.
And there was the one who Sandra Bernhardt played. I forget her name. And there was Plunder. There was Plunder. I remember him too.
I just like remembering that Burgess Meredith is in the G.I. Joe movie.
Burgess! A lot of people said G.I. Joe. I didn't grab it because I thought it was too easy.
Oh, did you see this very special episode of Captain Planet where it dealt with AIDS?
No.
Well,
A kid was diagnosed with AIDS from he got it from a blood transfusion, and then the story of the episode was just there was a villain who loved to spread rumors and just wanted to ruin this kid's life by telling everyone how he had AIDS, and then the whole school hates him until the Planeteers step in and tell them about how they shouldn't be mean to AIDS.
Having AIDS is totally cool.
It's 1988, so you should only be mean to the gay people with AIDS.
Yeah. Look, this kid has AIDS, but he's not queer.
You hear that?
We're trying to have an edgy story here, but he's not gay.
Sorry about that.
It's a
Ted
blood
Turner
transfusion.
says people
Blood
with
transfusion.
AIDS are all right.
I remember when I remember when I was in the sixth grade and we watched a video on safe sex. Well, not safe sex, but
safe
on
AIDS
in general, on STDs and AIDS in general, and they sent out a thing to ask parents if they want their kids to see it because there's a point in it where a kid asks the parent like, I heard only gay people get AIDS. And then he's like, well, that's not necessarily true. And they were worried people were going to get
Not
mad.
necessarily true.
Well, they were worried parents were going to get mad that it didn't say, that's right, God gave the gays AIDS as punishment.
You can get it through a gay telephone.
He told me that in a press release.
You can get it from using a gay toilet.
Yeah, well, it was the same deal as them.
Or by kissing someone who is gay.
They are gayer but equal.
That was the same deal like they always had to say, like, no, you can hug them and even share a drink with them. You're not going to get the AIDS.
And here for our next question, it's brought to you by Mexiflan and several other people.
Freakazoid!
Henry Gilbert.
I love Freakazoid.
That is Freakazoid.
I never watched Freakazoid.
That's a good show.
Turbo Bison from PTFGN.
Everybody watched Freakazoid. That's why it's still on.
Pixel Heroes. It came out.
All these shows are still on.
It came out when I was done with cartoons, so I had to catch up on it later. Like, this is fucking awesome.
Yeah. I got the DVD of the first season
Really?
recently. It holds up.
Like, it came out like right when I was getting
that Archer character who's Charlton Heston is fucking awesome. Darn the luck. God.
Because it was like the same time the Superman animated series was going, and I really liked that. So
Well, yeah, it was
that's what it was.
It was one of the first shows on when WB.
We didn't have the
Kids
WB for
yeah.
years, and we lost Tiny Toons and Animaniacs. They were all gone for me overnight.
Hysteria.
Shit,
well, that's a bad one, but
I should shut up.
Oh god, Freakazoid had one of the best. Like they did a Johnny Quest parody like over a decade before Venture Brothers.
Just let me throw a barrel at it.
Yeah,
just goes through the same barrel throwing animation over and over.
Turbo Bison sent me a clip. He's like, this guy sounds like Chris Antista on the podcast. Turbo Bison of Pixel Heroes podcast, PDFGN, PC Engine podcast. Do you remember the fanboy character?
yes, yeah.
Wow, Freakazoid, cool. Hey, I was just talking to Harlan on the internet, and I told him I hadn't seen a good cyberspace scene like this one since Tron, which is not the film that broke the bank at Disney in 1983, as some believe.
Right when he said that, I was like, I felt like Elson. Like, no, and then...
No, Tron came out in 82, 3 years after Disney's The Black Hole, which was Movieland's equivalent to the Hindenburg. Yeah. What a disaster! And the robots, they made R2-D2 look like Laurence Olivier.
Lock me up and throw away the key.
Oh, yeah, fanboy.
Yeah,
While you're wearing a Tron shirt.
I am wearing a Tron shirt.
I went as fanboy
That you got at the Disney Museum.
In '96 or whatever when that show was on. I went as fanboy for Halloween.
You still have the same haircut.
Yes, yeah. Thank you. No, his fanboy was easy. He just needed a red cape and then a white T-shirt with the F on it, and yeah. Nice. I saw a good episode. The other scene with him was where he meets Sulu on the street, George Takei, and then he's like, "Oh my God, you're my favorite character after Kirk, Scotty, Bones, Uhura, and Chekhov."
Oh, Star Trek humor that I barely get. This one comes from this next question. These are questions. Okay. Comes from Mexicutioner and Smegmal Insanity.
Whoa.
1,000 years ago.
Gargoyles!
Wow, that was quick. It is Gargoyles.
It was a time of darkness.
Which I know because of so many Star Trek people in it.
We are defenders of the night.
Now
We are gargoyles.
Now the spell is broken, and we live again!
It's like, now that the next generation is over, how many of you would like to come do a voice on Gargoyles?
Yeah,
we would all like to come.
They cast the entire show with Gargoyles. The Gargoyles with next-gen people.
Good chunk.
All right, this one's a little more difficult, but it comes from Turbo Bison and RF Switchblade.
Ooh, I like that name.
Oh, SWAT Cats.
Holy
SWAT
shit!
Cats.
Wow.
God, it's awesome.
That's such a good show.
Wow, I thought it was... I don't know. That was one that I was like, as a 13-year-old, I think this is stupid.
I don't know.
I never watched it.
I feel like tearing down derelict houses with my bare hands when I hear that.
No, yeah, like that's the age, like right at like 2-3 years younger than that is a totally different story. But yeah, for some reason I was like, we already have Ninja Turtles. We don't need cats, like tough talking cats with missile launchers.
Yeah, but that was the sad, like one of the last hurrahs of like the Hanna-Barbera days.
Well, that was when they first started doing original animation.
It was in between their like what they called cartoon stuff, which I don't want to spoil. But just when Cartoon Network had no original programming. It was like Two Stupid Dogs.
Oh my god.
And I'm talking too much. I want to get into the one that no one's going to get. I couldn't find this retro DSC. You know I love you, but the Dreamstone, some British animation thing. I looked at it.
I don't remember.
It was. It didn't air here. It looks so great. But John Dagger said this. I love it so much. It's from the 60s.
Space travelers surround me, hark now to the ballad of Rocket Robin Hood.
You already heard the title.
Rocket Robin?
They will confound you, astound you, spellbound you with heroes and villains, the bad and the good.
This is the credits to Red Dead.
Rocket Robin Hood.
That sounds amazing.
Wow.
The 60s cartoon wasn't on Cartoon Network.
No, it's not a Hanna-Barbera cartoon. So they don't do none of that. Oh, God, this is going to be so fucking easy. So many people said this. I have written down SSJ4 Raditz, Ronan Talon, Batman 5273. Would like to see a serious quality game from this cartoon. What is it?
Oh, Voltron.
Thank you. Let me just hear the end of it. I took out all the characters' voices. I was trying to make it a little difficult. I tell you what.
Pidge,
how about for kids not born in the 80s? Mm-hmm. Let's throw them a bone.
Why should we?
Let's throw them a bone. Just real
you
quick.
just did for Freakazoid.
You'll get this.
Turn to the past and undo the future that is.
Samurai Jack.
It's Samurai Jack, everybody.
Mako is not his name.
We were all tied up.
That actor.
Maybe.
Wow, I never watched
that
that
guy's
show.
so good.
We are all tied up at the moment. That comes from Johnny Maverick and Mr. Suitman. That's the game they want to... I don't know why that didn't have a better game involved. Did it only have Game Boy Advance games?
No, it had a PS2 game that I got off our free table and have never bothered to play. So
I've always wanted to go back and watch it. What, do you think it still holds up?
The cartoon?
I've only really seen the pilot, and I thought that was pretty striking visually. I mean,
Yeah.
it's kind of a ripoff of Frank Miller's Ronin, but not really.
Yeah, but like Frank Miller was super inspired by other stuff anyway. But
that's true.
This next question comes from 510 Brother Panda. Who can get this one?
Darkwing Duck.
Henry. It is completely Darkwing Duck. I'm going to need to hear this a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm almost a little embarrassed to hear it now. He's too tough. Well, DW. Okay. So 90s. It's just like painfully
dangerous.
Obviously, I didn't make any distinction whether this had an awesome game or not.
Yeah, the NES one was pretty good.
But Battle of the Megabad 5 it.
Yeah, it was excellent.
It was a very good game.
I'm to this day embarrassed by the Darkwing Duck theme song because I remember it's maybe the most 90s thing I could have done. It was riding around the street on my bike, which was like every neon color that was going on.
Did your bike have a duck bill on it?
No, but like the handlebars were neon hot pink, and I was wearing it was this dark black with bright green and bright orange. All those early 90s just striking neon colors everywhere.
Pogo balls on the handlebars.
And my pants are like this swishy fabric with a bright neon streak down both sides, and I'm like riding down the street like singing the Darkwing Duck song as loud as I can, like
pumping your bike back and forth.
Yeah, back and forth, and I'm like, man, I hope every kid on the block hears what I'm singing because they're gonna ask to come out and play with me, and I'll be like, I'm too busy.
I think that was the apex of Disney Afternoon for me.
Yeah, that was the last one I cared about.
I think Bonkers followed that one.
Yeah,
I never watched.
But before that was Goof Troop.
Do you know what Bonkers was supposed to be? Goof Troop was after.
Yeah, I do.
Goof Troop was after Bonkers.
Bonkers was supposed to be Roger Rabbit.
I heard about that.
It was supposed to be Roger Rabbit.
It totally fits in.
The whole point of Roger Rabbit was to combine everybody in the cartoon universe, but even Disney wasn't cool with like throwing, I don't want fucking Alice in Wonderland in your stupid afternoon show.
Right.
Yeah.
Much less getting Bugs Bunny in here. Like there's no point now.
Right.
Well, and also Roger Rabbit, like ownership of him in general is kind of.
Oh yeah, Steven Spielberg and Disney did not get along after he went off to form DreamWorks.
Yeah, but I
There's
remember
the guy
also
who wrote the book.
there was an episode of Bonkers where Mickey Mouse was in it, but they couldn't show him or say his name. They just said the mouse, and then they had his voice, and they showed him in silhouette. And how can you not know it's Mickey? But their hands were tied like you weren't allowed to have Mickey on an afternoon on a TV show.
I know, and in the game, there's like 3 items you have to find, and it's like a green hat with a feather in it. There's a magic lamp, but none of these people are mentioned. You don't go to those levels.
Why can't? I mean, there was an Aladdin animated series. Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's stupid. Disney owns all those things.
there were
They
definitely,
couldn't just
but, there's
say it.
definitely rights caught up
And
here and there.
then they kind of did shit like that with, what was it, House of Mouse.
Yeah.
It's just like they recast like Mickey's a nightclub owner, and we'll just have all the Disney characters show up and do weird shit.
Trying to get me started.
They even brought back Horace the Horse.
horse color, Hank.
Whatever.
Horse
Actually, I've
color.
only seen about 5 minutes of that show, but it involved like somebody passing out and like some male character passing out and needing CPR, and then like, does anybody know CPR? And it like pans over to Prince John.
The
From
phony
Robin
King of
Hood.
England?
Yeah, and he like puts on lipstick and starts puckering up.
Whoa.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that's
Wow, I
but
didn't
that's
know
still
that.
digging deep.
That's not
I
that's not
appreciate that.
historically accurate. Richard
No.
would be the one
That's
putting
true.
on the lipstick.
Oh, too true, Hank. This
That's
is
right. Richard
I-
the Lionheart was a gay boy.
Time may have embellished my memory of that somewhat. I
This-
don't know. Somebody may prove me wrong.
Look, I know everybody's going to get this, but what's awesome is that you'll get it at. I left in the company logo. You'll get it then, and then you'll get it in a second. But I need to hear the introduction. It would really help me out.
Oh, this is He-Man.
I told you.
That's film.
And the masters of the universe.
I am that.
I am Adam,
fabulous
Prince of
powers.
Eternia and defender of the
I am Adam.
secret powers.
I am Adam. Totally straight.
Is Cringer, my fearless friend. Fabulous secret powers revealed to me
Oh my
that
god!
I fight-
I didn't recognize that.
I was waiting for that this whole thing.
I haven't watched
I
He-Man
heard the
since I was.
Filmation logo and like.
I haven't watched He-Man since I was probably like 8, so I didn't remember any of that.
Oh, the Filmation logo
And the
is
fabulous powers.
Hits me really, really crazy. 3 people. The sorceress.
Did you? I found this out recently
Meta.
that like J. Michael Straczynski got his start writing for He-Man.
Oh
like,
my
that's
So did
how-
Paul Dini, right?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Well, and Crick Faluzzi, John Kay, he worked at Filmation.
I know that from the Best of DVD, which is Best of He-Man is still the worst thing you've ever seen.
No, they're all horrible.
But what's great is they have these special features of these people who talk. Most of them never done anything else in their life of any importance. But then there's like Paul Dini on. He's like, God, it was fucking stupid. We got stupid memos saying Skeletor's too likable now, so he can't do evil things.
Right.
And so we have to invent we had to use new action figures to do evil shit.
Basically, they had to bring in Hordak because
Hordak,
Skeletor wasn't really much of a bad guy anymore.
This one I probably wouldn't get. They say He-Man comes from Phazon 117. It did. Red Eater gave us this one, which I wouldn't recognize.
And Humanoids.
Wow.
That is good shit.
Like, if he played that part, I would have known.
No, like that's a show. Not only would it.
Who can stop him? Earth core, I hope.
Every G.I. Joe,
They played the same song during the toy commercials too.
every G.I. Joe voice going to come on over and be the Humanoids would work so good because it's all about this war. It's almost Gears of War in a way, but there's this crack team of guys with a bunch of special tools going underground to fight this subterranean race of people who've been there the whole time, and
Yeah, but it's like there's these like 3 giant.
Yeah, the
monster
3
guys.
giant ones were like decomposed. It was a dude whose ribcage was exposed. He would grab people, put them in his chest, and it would rot them immediately.
That was like I always wanted the shit out of that toy.
Wait, what year
And
was
they,
this?
they were like they were huge. They were like a foot and a half tall.
the toys of the actual Humanoids were really big, and then the
what
rest
year
of the
was this?
it was 80s, like
80s?
87, 88.
We were
maybe.
kids.
Oh, we were definitely kids.
Oh,
yeah.
I had, man, I
and
feel,
then
I
there
feel
was that-
slightly.
The green one was named Tendril, and he
Yeah,
was
he
this
looked-
giant green thing. He could barely even
Looked
talk.
kind of like Man-Thing or something.
Yeah, a little bit. And then the leader was this weird, like he had a silver breastplate on, but
It was like Magmar.
yeah,
or something
like that.
He was the lamest one, and he was their leader.
He was their
that
leader.
was so disappointing.
And the only image in my mind is an episode where Magmar, let's say,
yeah, whatever.
which is a Pokemon.
It's probably not.
Can Earthcore stop this evil before it's too late?
Is a scene where he's hanging out in a volcano, and he's literally holding up giant-sized binoculars looking out. Yes, they've got their front line coming at us.
Who made his binoculars?
But yeah, what company? But they had like all these neat little factions that weren't on either side, like these rock people and these weird tree. It was just this creepy world that was encroaching on humanity. But
I just remember like the threatening middle guys like menacing one of the heroes, like, "You should never have touched the amber, human," because like the whole thing was like these monsters were broken out of this ancient amber.
Yeah. It was just such a cool idea, and the toys were cool, but it also would make a cool game because there's so many enemies to fight, very clearly defined bosses, but also around like 2001, I found a VHS tape of like the first hour and a half of episodes at a pawn shop, and I bought it because, well, why not? And I was fully expecting it to be terrible and watch it and be like, just like G.I. Joe, just like Transformers, the animated series that this shit was based on is terrible. And then we watched, like, me and 4 friends all sat around and watched it, and we're all like, this is actually good. Like,
in Humanoids?
Yeah. Like it wasn't
Metlar, that was the guy's name.
Metlar.
Yeah.
It wasn't like amazing, oh my god, good, but it was like, no, the animation isn't shit. The story is actually coherent, and I'm not hating every second of this. Like, it's perfectly good.
I don't feel ashamed at my
I was
self.
not ashamed at all. I was like, no, that was, if I were a kid now, I would love this all over again.
Tell you what, the next question presented by Flying MX
and Humanoids
follows that because it's something you don't have to be ashamed of liking, and it's a little early in the 90s.
I come from the net, through systems, peoples, and cities, to this place. Mainframe.
Reboot?
That is Reboot, Michael.
God.
I barely remember.
To men and to family.
That was beyond my time.
I was too old for Reboot. When I
Reboot was
first
one of those
saw it.
things where it's like, it started out kind of interesting, and then it got lame, and then it got really interesting, and then like they went through this whole like extremely dark reboot.
They took like 2 years off or something like that.
Yeah, they
Came
took like
back.
2 years off, and then they came up and like the kid character was grown up, and he had like an eye patch and a beard, and he was like this hard-bitten bounty hunter, and the bad guys had taken over, and it was really fucking dark.
That is literally and strangely the exact same thing that Beast Wars did.
Wow.
It starts
Which were animated by the same company.
Yeah,
I
like
believe.
it was started off really cool, then got really dumb, and then got really cool again, and disappeared, came back as Beast Machines, and became really fucking weird and dark, where Megatron got everyone and run Cybertron, and then it started like slowly tying back into the animated series.
I just remember I saw an episode of Reboot where they referenced they had like a 5-minute scene that referenced Evil Dead 2, and as a kid I was like a teen who had just seen the Evil Dead trilogy. I was like, holy shit, they're doing this on a kid show? Oh my god. Now I'm very bored by Evil Dead references.
Poor Reboot? That's like beyond Steamboat Willie looking dated.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Like, it's got to look horrifying at this point.
It looks terrible.
I should think Beast Machines and Beast Wars looks that way too now.
You guys should get this. This comes from Metalhead 347, the cartoon from his childhood he wants to see made into a game.
Cowboy Bebop?
That is some Cowboy Bebop.
How young are these kids?
That is some Cowboy Bebop. They're young,
fantastic.
You were the one who was old. That's like the best thing about this show.
Well, no, the music is the best. Yeah, it had some of the best music.
I really got into this show though for a while.
I love Cowboy Bebop so much. They never had a bad episode either. Like
it was good.
A lot of anime series, if you have 26 episodes, for their own budget's sake, they just do like, here's a couple filler ones. We need to save some money. But the show never really had any. Everyone mattered, I guess, or none of them mattered, or they didn't have an overarching plot.
I can't help but think of, for some reason, Cowboy Bebop and Outlaw Star are mixed in my head, even though Bebop is so much better than Outlaw Star. But I don't want to get into fucking anime.
How long is Cowboy Bebop?
26 episodes, and then one movie.
One movie. Yeah.
I have all the DVDs if you'd want to watch
Here's what I didn't mean to say.
Then again, I don't want to lose.
I didn't mean to say this. That's the only good thing about Cowboy Bebop, the music. This, definitely, the only good thing about it is the music. The theme song.
Thundering across the stars
Bar
to
One
save
Scorpio.
the
Galaxy Rangers.
monster minds.
Oh, Michael,
Jake
no.
searches for his father to unite the Magic Root and lead his Lightning League to
fuck
victory over
Jason
the
the Wheel
changing
Warrior.
form
That is
of
correct.
Sawboss.
It came back.
Wow.
Wheel Warriors explode into battle.
It's called Jason the Wheel Warriors and just Wheel Warriors. Here's God.
I love these fucking toys.
Those
They were
toys were
so
really-
stupid.
The toys were so fucking dumb.
Oh man, but they could stack on top of each other, and that was sold as a feature.
Yeah.
And the bad guys just had these little brains that would sit in their cockpits.
When I was half retarded and
they were like little green erasers.
and build Lego, I'd basically build a giant Lego skyscraper on wheels, and this room is the death room, and it's on wheels. So that's what Wheel Warriors was. Every room had a different attribute. Every car had a different attribute.
Well, the leader of the bad guys had a big saw on his.
Yeah,
on his-
and like the whole thing was that like the bad guys were like intelligent plants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wheel Warriors has a very special place for me, solely because I don't remember the cartoon hardly at all, but there's like there's a picture my parents took of me when I was, it's like Easter when I was 3, and it's me playing on the sidewalk with 2 Wheeled Warriors figures, and it's just a picture that's been in the same place in every house we've lived in my entire life. So it's like, every time it's like little 3-year-old me, Easter Sunday, playing with Wheeled Warriors on the sidewalk. Every time I'm like, I want to cry every time I see it.
My mom was really cheap, so I thought that's why I got Wheel Warriors. 'Cause horrible woman.
Just how innocent. I just want to play with these shitty toys on the sidewalk. Oh, come on.
Love it. Remember, I made a Halo video a long time
Yes,
ago,
I do
and
remember
I
that.
tried to put in the Wheel Warrior song, and it was removed.
I remember that.
I don't know if we're
reasons.
reaching the end of the list, but I was going to say, somebody say Dino Riders.
Hank, don't suggest things until they. I don't want to. I don't want to ruin the contest, but no one said that.
Dino Riders and Dino Saucers.
I forgot about Dino Riders.
Dino Saucers. I don't like that joke.
Dino Riders.
Dino Riders
is
really.
cool.
I have 2 of the tapes that they released. Still.
Yeah, the tapes that had commercials
commercials
on
in them with
Yeah,
Tyco.
What?
They were Tyco products.
Yeah,
They had commercials in
in between. Yeah, commercials for the
From Tyco, of course.
so it flows.
These
well.
with the Lego blocks.
Yes.
Wow. I had the T-Rex Dino Riders toy, which I swear is the basis of Rex. Like he's like the T-Rex of Dino Riders looks just like Rex from Toy Story, except little. Less
Oh
cartoonish.
yeah, it is very similar.
Oh.
Yeah.
That weird proportion.
Yeah,
the
weird
head is
proportion.
very similar.
Yeah, no, just
The head has these dead eyes that just look terrible.
Inconceivable. That's my impression.
That's good.
Speaking of Dino Riders, that's a good transition into our next one. That was Bar One Scorpio, brought us Jason the Wheel Warriors. This is brought to us by Raven Bomb. Dino Riders, keep that in mind.
Okay. Hey, it's Smurfs.
Yes, I was trying to throw you off the scent.
Okay.
It's like Peter Pan and the Pirates, is it?
No, but somebody did suggest the Pirates of Dark Water, but I couldn't remember the theme song well enough. But did anybody see the trailer for the new Smurfs movie?
Yeah,
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
That sure looks great.
What song was it?
Hank
Wild
Azaria
Thing?
is going to be
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gargoyle.
Wild. Well, no, they mix Wild Thing with La 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 La.
What I want to know about this fucking Smurfs movie and about most kids' movies in general these days is like, okay, the plot is the Smurfs get transported from their magical world into Central Park, and
He-Man.
Gargamel chases them into the modern world.
Is that what it is?
Yes. Why? Can you just not leave the fiction alone? Why is it that characters always have to go to fucking New York and that's your movie?
Because
I
that's
don't
the
know.
easiest place to shoot, I guess.
I guess.
It worked for the He-Man movie.
It's just so
That's
easy.
true, exactly.
No, it did not.
And Garfield.
Fish out of water stories
I'm-
are easy to
I'm not
write.
saying it's true that it worked. I'm just saying it's true
It's-
that they did that, and
yeah.
it was another lame cop-out. What's wrong with just
Yeah.
making a fantasy movie?
Well,
Exactly.
in the 80s.
What if Never-Ending Story had been about Atreyu coming to New York?
The third one was about. They
Don't
went to the
remind me.
Minneapolis
Well, all right,
Mall.
Don't remind me.
Well,
And
in the-
fucking
Sorry.
Jack Black. Yes, I know. As a school bully.
in the 80s to make
Wow, he's
in the
super
80s
mad about
I know. I'm so happy.
In the 80s to make an Eternia, a live action Eternia would have been way too expensive. That's
Yeah, I believe the
why.
word is
To hire a He-Man that
did
could
it,
speak
yeah.
English was way too
Yeah,
expensive.
they didn't have CG to cop out of
Yeah.
special effects.
No,
Yeah, because creating a decent Eternia stand-in in Never-Ending Story was just too difficult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Ooh, Big Burn. Well, that was technically a foreign film.
Have they run out of?
Go to the IMDb and look it up, and it's the German title. It's a German movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Never-Ending Story?
Never-Ending Story, which they're of
Das Story
course
Never Ending.
I knew
remaking.
that the book was German. But
Yeah.
Written by Michael Ende.
Yeah, I was
Interestingly
I actually because I really suck and I have no life and I'm a dork and nobody loves me. I
Correct,
spent an entire night trying to figure out where I could find Falcor, like the real Falcor. It's in
The
Germany. It's in
puppet or
Germany.
whatever.
The
They still
proud.
have the the prop?
Yeah.
They didn't destroy it?
No, you can actually get on it and everything. It's in a
Wow.
museum. Yeah, really like to get on that Valcor.
I'm just sad. I feel I'm so sad of just everything is getting remade. It's just.
We just feel older because that happened to everybody else too. And what I hate about the Smurfs thing is that's what I sort of resented about Transformers the game, is that we're a demographic and we have kids and we want to take our kids to something like, I used to watch Smurfs.
Right.
I used to fucking love Smurfs. I used to think I really wanted to fuck Smurfette before I knew how to fuck anything. It makes me so mad.
Why did you drag out every word in that sentence?
Because I'm just fucking ashamed, and I deserve it. I deserve it for being such a shithead little kid with horrible crushes. Just because I was so hurt finding out Big Bird was a man and not a lady. That was my first crush. What the fuck?
And then Birdo and what was the pink puppet from Sesame Street? With the yellow hair?
Oh, Prairie Dawn?
Prairie Dawn.
Oh, she's good looking.
I never liked Smurfs as a kid. It wasn't actiony enough. It was just...
Yeah, I thought it was too boring.
They're mammals! That's
just an egg-laying species!
He has a beard!
I just read
it's
about...
one female servicing in civilization of males!
I just read about how the...
Hope everyone's
first
watching Venture Brothers.
The first zombie comic book was a Smurfs comic.
Yeah, the Payokers.
Yes, that actually predated Night of the Living Dead.
Yeah.
Wow, what the fuck, really?
Yeah, and that is actually, some people point to it as the origin of the idea of a zombie plague.
The Smurfs.
Yes.
There was
Smurfs.
a comic?
Yes.
Yeah, there's a
The
comic
Smurfs are
of
that
the
old.
black-
Like, I thought
Yes.
they premiered like 10 years before the movie did, the Magic Flute movie.
What?
The Smurfs premiered in a movie, like a Norwegian...
They were a comic strip.
Yeah, they
for a
were.
long
No, they
time.
were,
in
but
the
they
60s.
premiered it. Well, no. They premiered the comic, and like they were so popular 10 years later because Pee-wee, the character Pee-wee, is what the comic was based around, not the Smurfs.
What the hell are you talking about?
Who's Pee-wee?
Well, you mean
He's the
those
human character, the
characters
human
from way
kid.
later in
Oh,
the
yeah,
Like,
series?
it was all about
yeah,
him, and he
okay,
encountered the
okay.
Smurfs, and they became very popular.
Right.
Pee-wee the Magic Flute, and now it's just called the Smurfs and the Magic Flute in America.
All right.
I hadn't heard of that.
But it's old as shit.
But anyway, yeah, it's the there's like this plague that spreads among the Smurfs, and it like turns them black and like really aggressive, and the black Smurfs will bite the healthy Smurfs, and that's how the disease is transmitted. And apparently, the whole thing climaxes with like a small band of survivors being surrounded, like boarding themselves up in a house that's surrounded by all these black Smurfs.
Except because it's Smurf land.
Papa
Dave.
Smurf,
There is an
there's
antidote.
zombies coming for Papa Smurf.
There is an antidote, and they end up saved in the end.
Oh, thank goodness.
But it does end with like
Did one of them
Papa
tell?
Smurf
Did one
is-
of them tell Lady Smurf the antidote is fucking?
No,
It's still look, it's the last chance for survival.
Papa
antidote is
Smurf was
canon.
the last survivor, though.
He's Optimus Prime of Smurfs.
Though, did you
That's true.
also did it? One of my favorite Smurf joke scenes is in Donnie Darko, where the guys like are talking about how much they want to have sex with Smurfette, and they're like, "Oh man, I bet Pop Smurf's with him all the time." He's like, "You idiots! Gargamel created her and put her in there, but she loved the Smurf world too much to."
Yeah, the Smurfs were so pure that
Yeah.
they
Word,
changed
kid.
her heart.
Papa Smurfette was forcibly Smurf. Ow!
That's a pretty good
Now
name.
Brady!
I don't have the vocal effects on
You should.
me.
Oh man, the Robot Chicken commentaries they have a few.
Is
that
it
are
the
really
same
awesome.
voice?
Well, no, they got the real Brainy
Brainy.
because the voice actor. This is the stuff you find out from the Robot Chicken commentaries because they have on these old voice actors, and like they had the Brainy voice actor who he said that he got it because he was a talent agent for kid actors, which is how Seth Green knew him. And so then they just asked him like, "Hey, do Brainy on our show." And so the same deal they had on the guy who was Duke on G.I. Joe, and it was funny because he's like a super Hollywood liberal talking about like, "Oh, I can't believe I did G.I. Joe selling Reagan's America to children."
Blowing up robots from dusk till dawn. Oh,
Battle Android Trooper.
oh my God! Did we really talk that much about Smurfs?
Yes, we did.
Yeah.
Sadly, yes.
Then this is going to be even better. This comes from 8-Bit Baby.
Oh, it's Gummy Bears.
Oh, yeah.
That's Gummy Bears. Gummy
Once again, I am shamed that I know that.
Gummy Bears could make a kick-ass game because you have a bunch of different characters who all have the same superpower. Bouncing.
They already made that game. It's called Super Mario Bros.
All right. God, dude, I haven't seen the last episode for a while, but I just read about it, and it's about all the Gummy Bears coming back to the forest. Yeah, like they were all kind of banished. The 7 we saw, the Cubby, the girl. Yeah. Okay, I'm out. No more Gummy Bears.
Actually, Gummy Bears is at the heart of a very embarrassing story from my childhood.
Let's hear that.
All right, so when I was in, I think, 2nd or 3rd grade, I got to go to this like young authors thing that my school sent me to, and along with a couple other kids. And the highlight of this was a presentation by Mike Thaler, who's a children's book author, who is my favorite author at the time.
What did he write?
Cream of Creature from the school cafeteria.
You had a favorite author in 2nd grade?
Yeah.
Nerd.
Yeah.
I'm trying.
Really? Yeah.
Yes.
So anyway, he just, starts showing how you can turn any word into a pig pun, any word that starts with, ig, and like he asks the audience to start throwing out words, and a couple of people come up like ignition and pignition, things like that. And so I just blurt out the first thing that pops into my head, which is Igthorn. And he's like, what's I don't know what that is. What's that? And some kid in the back starts screaming, "It's from Gummy Bears!" Like everyone I'm sitting around just turns very slowly and stares.
Yo, this fucker likes Gummy Bears.
Exactly.
He doesn't even know about DuckTales yet. Yeah, that's
I was going to say,
DuckTales didn't exist yet.
I was going to say Gummy Bears was before.
It's technically the first.
Gummy Bears started Disney Afternoon.
Yeah, I always viewed it as like it's before.
There was a bunch of
DuckTales.
made-for-video Winnie the Pooh shit that got run on Saturday mornings, but
yeah, I remember those.
Yeah, I never got that into Gummy Bears because of I got so into DuckTales, and I was like, that's the old cartoon.
I gotta say, that wasn't in game deals, but that's.
Take my advice.
Costco has all the Disney Afternoon shit for
I saw that.
for every volume for $8.
Wow,
that's not bad.
It's ridiculous. It's like 40 episodes for $8 of Tailspin, Darkwing Duck.
And how much am I really going to watch Tailspin?
I bought the first DuckTales one only because the first 5 episodes are kind of cool, and that's where the intro comes from.
Oh yeah. That's a good. Them running into.
But that's the thing. Like even if I'm not going to watch it, that's not a bad price to have around.
I remember a childhood argument over Tailspin, which was So in Marvel Comics in '92, the character Carnage first appeared. But we didn't know how to pronounce it. It just says Carnage on the page. And I said, that's Carnage. And then they're like, no, it's Carnage, because the character in Tailspin is Don Carnage.
Yeah.
I was like, no, it's not. But I got shouted down at the YMCA that day.
You totally have to hurry.
Yeah, well,
they said it on TV. That means that's the right pronunciation.
Are you plugged in?
Power.
Anyway, let's try and hurry it along. I have 20 minutes. 20 minutes.
Sorry, you get it. You start talking about 80s.
But I know. That's what I say. I needed you here.
Do you need an adapter? I could probably get you one.
Do.
All right, should everyone get one?
I do. I don't want Michael here for this one because he's going to get this easy.
Okay.
Easy. You would get this so fucking easy. You would probably be able to tell you would be able to tell who wrote it. All right.
All right, let's hear this shit. Do it. It's the Pink Panther.
Yeah,
it's Henry Mancini. It's the fucking Pink Panther. Told you. I told you. Fine, you happy? Pink Panther. Michael Noyes. Michael Noyes. Yes, the Pink Panther. But that was brought to us by Lava Lamp and Cheburashka. Cheburashka?
Is it Cheburashka or Cheburashka?
All right, we'll get to the end of this, and then we'll come back and do phone calls.
All right.
Saw Curry's Good Head Cat Dog, but I couldn't find the song.
Out of all the Nicktoons, Cat Dog.
I remember being at a video store and some lady was shopping next to me and was like picked up a Cat Dog tape off the rack and was like, "That ignorant cat dog."
What? These cat dogs are playing cat guy.
I don't think ignorant's the word you meant. Like,
would that be tack god?
This is offensively ironic. That's what's happening
Right next
here.
to the copy of the negotiator.
All right. All right.
That'll date it to somebody.
This question comes from Twathammer. New user.
All right.
What do you do with a twat hammer?
Oh,
It's totally Beavis and Butthead. And who did have a game with a great Gwar music. Gwar music.
Had a couple different games.
Well, the Genesis one has like all the good Gwar music.
Yeah. I think
Oddly
Gwar
enough.
is actually in the game.
They are in the
which is
game.
kind of awesome.
You have to find tickets to the Gwar game. This one, let me see
If there
who
was
can
a
get
Gwar
this
game, that
one.
would be cool.
Love this. Slow build. Henry's perking up.
I know, it feels important.
Oh, Mask! It's totally Mask.
Dude, Mask would be such a good fucking game.
Yeah.
And every one of those cars can transform and do shit.
Why
didn't we do this as an
It was
article?
the first time, like, Mom, Dad, why can't I have this toy? Because you'll hurt your sister. And then my aunt brought home, like, fucking green, like, 57 Chevy from Mask.
Oh, yeah.
And I hit the back bumper, and I fired up the stupid tire, and hit my stupid sister, who I didn't even know was there, right in the eye. It's never allowed to have
I think
toys
the
with
peak of that
projectiles.
was the point where it's like, okay, even as a 4-year-old, this is too much. Was the van that split in half and a volcano came out of it?
Oh, yes.
But the one that I saw as a kid was the motorcycle that had the little helicopter propeller.
I had
was
that
like,
one.
you're blowing my mind. How can a helicopter have a...
Though
Man,
Robot Chicken had like the definitive Mask joke, which was like they just felt like they had to have a Mask sketch, and then they're like, this is... And it's all about just how stupid Mask is, really, because they're like cars that transform into things that are worse than they were before. And then also they just have a scene of like somebody picking up a thing, like, who left their mask on the floor? Also, this isn't a mask. This is a helmet. And then they just stare into the screen for a second.
I had so many of those things. I found a bunch of them the last time I went to my parents' house. I'm like, what do I do with these? They're so cool, but I don't want them.
Did the toys come with the giant stickers? I know I moved a bookshelf out of my room, and it was covered in Mask stickers, like more than I ever had.
Yeah, they probably did.
Like big stickers, like
Right.
The
like
only
baseball
Mask
size.
toy I had was the helicopter motorcycle.
Super cool.
Kids, hold on to the pot. We're gonna move right back into the 90s. This one comes to us. We're almost done. Taint by Numbers.
Space Ghost.
Completely Space Ghost. I should say that Mask came from 435.
Oh, yeah.
Space Ghost Coast to Coast
you,
is
Mike.
quaint now compared to regular Adult Swim.
Yeah, but I love it. It's still so fucking funny, and I still don't know how they interview those people to get that response out of them.
It's magical. It really is. I love that. I love that show so much.
I love this intro too.
Yeah.
Never did
Sonny
get a decent
Sharrock,
game.
I think is the name of the guy who did the song. They did a whole episode about him.
Hank, you'll like this one, but it's a little difficult.
All right.
Oh, I know this.
Oh, it's The Tick.
Yeah.
That is a tick.
That was a great show, too.
That was
like-
a show.
We'll keep moving along.
It
I
was a
still
nice-
think just the name Batman Well is so
Batman well.
perfect.
That was from the live action one.
Yeah,
Deflator
the
Mouse.
Flater Mouse.
Was the animated equivalent.
The Flater Mouse.
I liked
was
him.
Batman
I
Well
liked
always-
him.
Bat Manuel was played by Nestor Carbonell, who went on to play what's his face?
The
with
mayor
the
in Dark,
eyeliner.
or
in Lost.
in Lost, but he was also the mayor in Dark Knight. He played a Batman
Oh, right,
parody
yeah.
and starred in Dark Knight.
Yeah,
Ha!
that was so weird.
This one, this is two more, comes from El Pork, who was somehow banned. Who banned El Pork?
Wasn't me. Oh, Powerpuff Girls.
It is totally Powerpuff Girls.
I've
Still
watched
dig.
a lot of cartoons.
I hear El Pork doesn't think that awkward pauses are funny.
Well, he likes other stuff.
Who's which El Pork?
El Pork. He doesn't think awkward pauses are funny.
Why?
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No.
I thought you were going to say why.
No.
I just don't want to stop. If he thinks they're awkward, I don't want to get caught in one.
Well, the last thing I want to do is be awkward.
Yeah.
Well, then maybe Michael should finish.
That's. You guys go ahead.
I don't want to intrude. It's like, wow, a Twitter joke gone too far. Gone too far. Poor Twitter something about not liking awkward pauses.
Oh, you guys took it and ran with it. I thought that was much better.
And this is the last one ever. Sausage Lodge. You were all tied, by the way. I've been keeping score.
This is the decider.
You're all tied. Sausage Lodge. Sauce had a couple beers. Hey, we had a company meeting. I had 2 beers at the meeting at 4. I'm on my 7th. Sausage lozenge. It's very hard to say.
It's a tough word when you're drunk.
Jam.
Henry is our winner. Henry, take a victory lap.
Truly outrageous. Truly outrageous.
Contagious, right?
And she fought. She fought the Misfits.
I think they'll talk about them.
We are the Misfits. The songs are better. Misfits, we're gonna get it. Oh,
can you imagine the Transformers song if like the Decepticons got a turn to sing and they say their side? It'd be amazing.
For bonus points, name the other 3 shows that was. No, was it 2 shows that was packaged with?
It was a package with Humanoids.
Oh, shit, it was on USA.
That's one. There's 2 more.
Wasn't it with glowworms? I thought it was with glow. No, that was My Little Ponies and glowworms. Yeah. I don't remember.
Bigfoot and robotics.
Oh wow, man!
Bigfoot isn't like the
like is in the monster truck.
Yes, great.
Oh man, I remember.
It got its own cartoon series.
I saw in the list. I saw 2 different my 2 most hated shows of the '90s. I swear someone said Extreme Dinosaurs, which I watched every day of junior year in the morning because I was just totally captivated by how awful this cartoon was. And then Extreme Ghostbusters, which was one of the dumbest openings.
Oh, excuse me. I had that collected. I won't play it unless you really want me to.
It's just like...
But I have it.
Have you guys heard of this alternative music? What if we had a bunch of affirmative action Ghostbusters?
Shit, what do I do with that?
There's a guy in a wheelchair.
I have.
There's a goth
Somebody
girl.
suggested... Several people requested Extreme Ghostbusters.
Oh, my God. This song...
It's still kind of a cool guitar riff.
No, that's cool, but the lyrics are just, they drive me up the wall. And the distortion. Busted makes me feel good. It's just too much.